Welcome to Team 55's video application review. We really wanted to make sure that you knew where to get our application and run it. Open up this folder. It is a Java desktop application with Java FX and Derby as our database in the background. When you first start it up, it's going to ask you where are the base data files located at. That's your instructor, courses, the students. We're going to select a directory here. Now, if you select a directory that doesn't have the proper files, it's going to tell you, hey, that's an invalid location. Try again. We're going to select a proper directory this time. Go to the test cases. Open that up. All right, so now that we've done that, it's going to say, how do you want to start the simulation? Do you want to blank out the database and start from scratch? Or do you want to exit the application? We're going to start the simulation. Now it's going to ask you where are the request files. They can be in a different location than where the base data was. We're going to select a directory. Open up test cases. So now we're coming with the, open up the main window here. Let's open this up a little bit more. So along the top here, you're going to see the informational tabs. Here's the messages as things are going through the simulation. It'll add more things here. The analysis tab is the Weka output. We don't have enough data yet. Showing courses, the students, the instructors. Records will start to fill up as we go through each term and degree programs. You notice we're currently working in the fall 2017 term. We can go through here and assign instructors. I'm going to try to assign Douglas to another class. It's going to come up. It says that that instructor is already assigned, so we can't do that. And then we're just going to hit next right now. We're going to review the request here, and we can see that these are valid requests because they both have instructors and prerequisites are met on that. We are going to say, all right, next. Now, we don't have any classes that are missing, but if we did, we could say we could pick one of the professors that we didn't have before, or we can put Douglas, try to move him over to software engineering. Notice he moved from data structures down there. Now if we try to assign someone else, it's popping up and saying that you've already made your one change, so you can't do any more. So we're saying okay, changes that back. We're going to process the request now, and it's coming up, and it creates the random grade based off the probabilities that was in the assignment. And if we go over to the records tab now, we will see that for the fall 17, here were the grades for the courses. We have 3 buttons down here that we can proceed to the next term, restart the simulation from the first request file, or we can exit the program. We're going to process the next term. We see that we're in winter 2018. If we look at the analysis, we'll see that there's still not enough data for it to work. We're going to go ahead and just assign people on this. A couple of those. Just a time we're not putting everything in. All right, so we can see we have a bunch of valid requests going on here. All computer programming. Hit next. We're not going to change anything because we got everything. And now it's got all the grades here. And if we go to the records, we can see that now winter 2018, or we can look at fall 2017. We look at analysis, still not enough data for Weka, so we're going to proceed to the next term. I'm going to go ahead and assign people again. All right, we're going to hit next. You'll see that all true on all that. So we're going to go next. Not going to make any changes. I'm just going to go through. All right, we're going to see again more. Now we got spring of 2018 in the records. Going to proceed to next term. We're going to go through and assign some people. Actually, we're not going to assign that. We're going to go here, assign that, and assign that one. Hit next. And now we're seeing some invalid request here. So we see one for Jane Jones is we don't have an instructor, so that's not a valid request. We're seeing Harry Day for software engineering. He doesn't have the prerequisites, which is computer programming. So that's an invalid request. You can go through and see there's some more there. So when we go next, we can assign someone to computer programming now and process the requests. And we can see that we have the grades. People who wanted computer programming now have it. Someone got an F there. We're going to proceed to the next term. We're going to look at the analysis and see now we have some data from WECA. We can see the confidence level on that, 92.77 for those. I'm going to go through, do some more assignments here. Next. Got a bunch of ones without teachers, so that they're going to be invalid. We're not going to change any instructors. Process that. So we're going to go to the analysis and see now that you can see confidence levels have changed here. So you can see WECA is processing the data as you put more in. We can proceed to the next term. Now this was only 5 files, so once it doesn't find the next file in the series, then it says that the simulation is complete. So we hit OK. We can restart the simulation again or exit the program. When you restart the sim, it'll get back and ask you to start the simulation again. When you do, it's going to ask you, okay, where are the simulation files again? We're going to open it up. And there we go. So it blanked it out. It went back to fall of 2017, and we should be good. Now, if you quit the application, it will make sure you really want to, and you can hit OK. And there you go. All right, we're going to show you what happens when you stop a simulation right in the middle. We're going to, we've done a couple of terms already. We're looking at spring of 2018 right now. I'm going to shut down the application, and then we are going to start it back up again. It's going to ask us here in a second, how would you like to proceed? Do we either continue the simulation, redo the simulation from the start, blank out the database and start from scratch, or exit the application? We continue the simulation, and it loads up, and we can see we're back at spring 2018. We can look at the records and see we have winter and fall of 2017 already in there. We are now going to look at some situations with bad data. If you look here, we are in the courses file. We are missing some of the pertinent data, missing the IDs, the descriptions, and then a whole cost at the end there. So we're going to go into the application. We're going to select the directory for the base information. And open that up. Start the simulation. directory. All right, and we're going to see in the messages that there were some course information that could not be imported. We are now going to look in the situation where the instructors file is blank, has no instructors in there. So we're going to load up our base data. We're going to select the folder. Open it up. And it's telling us that we have bad base data because you need instructors or otherwise the simulation doesn't work. Well, one final thing we'd like to mention is we noticed that one of the test cases that you all provided skipped a request file. So if you look here, I simulated that in our smaller test data. We go 0, 1, and then 3. 2 is missing. So the way our application has decided to handle it is when it cannot find the next request file, in this case when it tries to look for 2, it assumes that the simulation is over and will tell you so, just as if you went through all the request files.